Jesus. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show where after the collision, we sift through
The Wreckage.
the wreckage. Yes, I am your host, Jimmy T. He is the best in the world, Jamie, the Jamie the Vet Williams. And you are listening and watching live on Hammy Media Group's YouTube channel and, of course, on channelattitude.com after the fact. Now, peeps, I just want to apologize.
Let's
For the
let them
last,
guess what happened. Let's let them guess what happened.
All
What
right, all right.
happened, guys?
They're probably thinking that I'm just running late as per usual, right? Because
Yeah,
like
that would be a
cold-blooded
safe
say,
bet.
that's what they think. But you know what? Take a guess. What do you guys think happened before we get into shit? Because I'm pretty pissed off now having to repeat myself for the third time to the vet, if anything. No, well, Liz, no, actually, my computer didn't crash.
Another great guess. We
It was a good
definitely have
guess,
an
but-
educated audience. That's
It's
sure.
not that, though. It's not that.
Yeah, it wasn't even that. Now, Jimmy,
give
your
you guys-
computer has your computer even crashed since?
No, it hasn't.
Okay.
No. Oh, actually, it did. I think once on no, it was more my internet though.
Oh, the
on,
internet.
like, a Raw.
Yeah, it was the internet.
The internet, I couldn't even do the show. Like it was that bad, dude. I was on for like 10 minutes, and it was like I can't do it. Like it was just I don't know what was happening then. But take two more guesses. You probably would never guess it because I've never done this before. That's another thing. So there's a hint. I've never done it, so I know I wasn't running late. No, my PC did not crash. Think one more thing. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, Vet, I'm sorry about that. I could have sworn I thought I did what I did, but
Well, you
Whatever
know, these
reason.
things happen. It's not the only thing. It's not the only time that's ever happened either. I mean,
Really?
I've been on a show with, I can't remember who it was. We did almost 15 minutes, probably Ray.
No way.
Did almost 15 minutes. So,
Oh, man. No, look, I've never done that before, so this is a new one to me. Even though, and look, you guys are probably not going to guess it. And then you chipped your breaker. No, because otherwise, look, I'll just fuck it. I'm just going to say it. I thought we were live already, so here I was, ranting for how long? Probably 10 minutes, maybe.
it was about 8 minutes or so.
And then Vet, thank God, actually, yeah, exactly this. We didn't go live, even though I could have sworn I pressed the button, but I guess I didn't. I don't know what happened. But yeah, we went live. So we were talking, and then thank God Vet goes, "Hey, Jimmy, by the way, I don't think we're live." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I look up and I'm like, "Oh, shit." And here we are. So,
Well,
Yeah.
I'd say we've wasted enough time. We'll give you a quick recap of what we were talking about to ourselves and no one else, which was Crown Jewel in Perth.
right.
Jimmy was taking the Australian fans to task. I haven't watched the show, so I don't even know. Apparently, they were out of control, and that's all we really need to say about that. Like
Yeah, almost
Jimmy
didn't
thought
wanna
Jimmy
say
thought they were
anymore.
out of control. I didn't watch the show. Now you're all caught up. That's essentially
Right.
basically where we're at.
And I
And
wanted to
that
get your opinion.
supposedly Jimmy also said this is one of the better shows, and people are saying it's one of the best shows of the year. So what did you guys think of Crown Jewel? Let us know in the chat. But that's basically where we're at. The only thing I did watch, I did actually have just enough time to watch Stephanie. I had to look at her. I already knew that she was going to win, but I got to watch the match. My takeaway from that is, man, Tiffany Stratton is just not not that
bad.
good compared to
She's bad.
Stephanie.
Dude, as a matter of fact,
Stephanie was so like Stephanie made Tiffany look better in that match than she normally looks, but I could still see through everything, and it really just shows like the gulf of difference between Stephanie and most of the other girls that we consider top girls, you know, which are all like, it seems like there's some blonde white girl pretty much, like it's all blonde white girls and Io Sky out there. So so that was my takeaway from that. So the right person won. That's all I could say.
yeah, the right person did win. But, it's funny you brought up how bad Tiffy looked. Me and RBV obviously done a review show yesterday on the show, which you can check out right here. And I was saying to Rick that, is it just me or does it feel like Tiffany's kind of regressed a little bit?
No, she's always been this. She's always no. She's actually she's actually better now than she's ever been, but she just was never good.
Backwards, really? Okay.
Because and it's one of those things. It's like this is a term that I've coined lately. I don't know if somebody else has also coined it. I didn't get it from anybody, but I'm just saying, like, it's something that I've had to talk about recently because of the way things have been developing in recent years, as far as like the fans, their relationship with wrestling and watching wrestling and stuff. And that is, people mark out for the push, right? Like, you don't, like, if you're the average fan, you don't know actually anything about wrestling. You only know what you like and what you don't like. You don't know what's good. You don't know what's bad. Well, usually stuff that's bad is kind of obvious, but you really don't, even the stuff that you like, you don't really know necessarily why you like it. You just know you like it. That's the vast majority of people. Obviously, HMG is a different class of clientele. You guys that are here watching, you guys see things differently, partially because you're a different kind of fan, partially because we're constantly, if you're listening to us, you're subliminally being educated on things that the average fan is not hearing from anybody else. Like, anybody that goes and listens to, these, like the whatever, dirt sheet, whatever, any other fan podcast or whatever, you're not getting, and I'm not just saying this to put over our channel, but I'm just saying there are people there. I listen to some of those, even the professionals. When I listen to the professionals, like the Cornettes or whatever, the Kevin Nashes, or, all these people, anybody that has a show with Conrad, when I listen to these people, they're not saying the things that we're saying here. Partially because politics, some of them just don't want to expose it. Partially because some of them don't know it. So that's basically where we're at. So for people like Tiffany Stratton, she gets a push, right? Like, she gets pushed out of NXT, probably too fast, but at the same time, how long can she stay there? Because she's not learning anything anymore. I don't think she's just taking more risks and getting hurt now because she's a gymnast. So she's got to do gymnastic stuff. So she's got more risk of injury. Now she goes up to SmackDown or whatever. Now she's in this spot where, she's a pretty blonde white girl. We got to push her. So they push her. She doesn't know how to be a main eventer. She doesn't even know how to work a match. She just knows how to do her pre-planned spots with gymnastics and stuff like that. And you could see things fall apart because of the inexperience. Now, she's getting grizzled in real time, but at the same time, she's still green. So it's like, that's what you get when you get somebody that went on a career path that had no pro future. Like, there are no professional gymnastics leagues. Like, nobody pays money to have like a pro league of people that are like doing the parallel bars. That shit's only in like the Olympics and stuff. There's no pro future for that. So your only option is to live off endorsement deals that you made as an Olympic athlete, or be a pro wrestler. So she's a pro wrestler. She's been doing this for what? Like a few years, not that long. Stephanie's wanted to be a wrestler since she was a child. Right, so exactly. It shows when she's in the ring, she has the poise and she has the reps, and she went through the grinder in Mexico, in Japan, any of these other places that she's traveled before she got here. That's why she looks like she knows what the fuck she's doing. So that's the difference there. But people will talk about Tiffany Stratton's, Tiffany Stratton's good. Tiffany Stratton's this, she's that. They'll say she's doing good when she does well at things at times. But really, you're just marking out for the push, right? If nobody was watching her, when nobody was talking about her in NXT, but they're talking about how good she is once she gets on in front of more eyeballs. And I think that's what you're seeing. You're just seeing it get exposed.
She's been getting exposed pretty bad, dude.
Yeah, but she's still better now because of the experience she's gotten in the short time that she's still better than she was. But that doesn't mean that you've seen every possible thing that can happen to you. You need. You don't get the house show grind anymore, which is good in one way and bad in a very important way.
True. I mean, and you know what? You're right. The house show grind is actually a good thing for wrestlers to improve on their shit. You know what I mean? But I guess, with this new regime, obviously they don't want to do them as much, even though we are getting a house show this Wednesday in my neck of the woods, funny enough. Like Liz says, though, she has the personality of a blonde Barbie cheerleader who has never been told no. I can see.
Okay,
that.
well, now that's a different conversation because that's the gimmick. I actually have no idea what Tiffany Stratton is like. I've never listened to her talk outside of her promos. I don't listen to her on podcasts or interviews or anything. So I don't know what she's really like, but she's the Barbie character, right? Like she started out with like the daddy's rich girl gimmick. They never had a daddy. They dropped that immediately and just went with regular rich girl. And this is what I'm talking about when I say, remember, how I always say the WWE doesn't know who these people are. They don't know the characters that they have. They've got everybody in the wrong spot. So she's the perfect example of that. Why is Tiffany Stratton, the spoiled rich brat, a babyface? How did that happen? Shouldn't she be a monster heel at this point with the title? Shouldn't she be like a total monster heel? Like, why is she a babyface? That's not the character of a babyface. She's not even doing the character anymore. She's not even really being the bitchy Barbie that she was in NXT. She was doing that character down there. Then she gets called up and she's not doing it. She just looks like it and it's not doing it. But she gets the Barbie WrestleMania entrance, but she's not acting like Barbie. She's not doing anything. What about Tiffany Stratton has ever been on television that told you she's a rich brat? Has she ever arrived in a limousine? Has she ever gone on shopping vignettes or like, what have they done to tell you that? It's just, here's a pretty girl who moonsaults. Cheer for her.
And Zane, that's a stupid question. Come on now. It's pretty clear why he was a babyface, because he was the anti-hero, bro. Come on. Not just that, he's going against the grind, against the boss. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Well, Steve Austin tried to be a heel. Steve Austin tried to be a heel, and the fans chose. This was the beginning of fans going, well, besides ECW, of course, but this was the beginning of fans going against the push of, who they wanted to see. Like, this is in the era where Shawn Michaels was the top guy. Here's Steve Austin on the undercard telling Brett, you're washed up, you're a bum, fuck you, all this stuff.
In front of him, man.
Right. Right. Like going into Brian Pillman's house, getting a gun pulled on him, all this stuff. Like ridiculous. This is Steve Austin's doing heel shit. And then if you listen to the WWE's like rewriting of history, they make it sound like Steve Austin won King of the Ring, said Austin 316, and then all of a sudden he became the biggest babyface ever. No, it took 2 years after that for him to be the babyface that he would eventually become, really.
100%.
I didn't even think in WrestleMania 13 when I watched that as as it happened in 97, I didn't even think of it as a double turn. When Brett beat the shit out of Steve Austin after the match, I was like, yeah, this is the guy that like insulted you, insulted your whole family, has been an asshole this whole time. Like, it was just him getting what he deserved.
It's true.
Yeah. So, but now they tell you, oh, it was a masterful double turn. Oh, okay. If you say so. I remember it differently,
I do believe that it was intended for that though, as the double turn. I really do. Like, I don't think they're trying to change
I don't.
That. Really?
I don't because wasn't it 97 when he and Shawn Michaels were the tag team champions and Shawn Michaels was
I think it was 98 with that. Right before
98?
I could be wrong. Zane
No. It had to be 97 because he hadn't won the title yet. And they were still kind of feuding.
Before. I'm talking about early 98. Like very early. Right before WrestleMania.
It was like around King of the Ring time is what I'm thinking. But somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, as they always do.
Zane will know this. Zane definitely will know. I do recall what you're saying, though. I'm just thinking between 98 and 97. It's definitely between there. No, you're right. You're right. And as far as Tiffy goes, what is she? Are they trying to make her be even the Paris Hilton of WWE in some ways? When you think about it, that's what I think they're trying to go for, but it's not really.
You said Tiffany?
Tiffy, right? Yeah, Tiffany.
No,
yeah.
no, they're not. So. They're not trying anything. They're just saying go out there and smile or whatever. She has no character now.
Well, she seems lost, man, and that's what's important about that. And even at the end of that match, there you go. Memorial Day '97 Vet is when
Yeah,
Austin and Michaels
that's
won
like
the
a
tag
completely forgotten. That's like a completely forgotten chapter in history because it's after the supposed double turn, but also before Degeneration X. So
Was it before DX? Oh
yes,
yeah, it was. Yeah,
because he
weird.
wouldn't be teaming with Austin then.
Right.
You know,
I don't
remember
remember the
Triple H hadn't even
circumstances.
won. Triple H had not won King of the Ring, right?
No,
Because he was
not that
supposed
time.
to. He was supposed to. So allegedly supposed to win in '96.
He was
Then
supposed
he
to in
had to wait till
'97, right?
'97. You know, all that stuff. So he was still doing the Hunter Hearst Helmsley thing. The DX came later.
Right. Well, yeah. In '97 it began obviously as well. But anyway, now I've sort of lost my train of thought. But the point is, Tiffy's. I think it's the beginning of the end for her. In terms of, I really think she's gonna lose that belt. She looks bad, dude. Like when I say bad, like the match didn't even go for long either. I think it was like under 10 minutes. I mean, in some ways, I hate to call it this, but I don't want to say it was a squash, but it kind of was, even though it went for under 10 minutes. It made La Primera look so much. She looked great in this match compared to Tiffy. And it made that women's world heavyweight championship so much more elevated than seeing what Tiffy's got with their WWE Women's Championship. What was even more cringe though was the way Triple H was acting towards it at the end of the match, bro, when he was handing out the Crown Jewel Championship.
I don't care about that. But what is like? I mean, he probably didn't. I didn't see, again. I didn't watch it, so he probably didn't come out and kiss Seth Rollins or anything, right?
No, but they were hugging, especially
Oh,
after he
okay.
cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I mean, if
it
you
is what
could
it
give
is.
Seth
But
Rollins a hug, then if well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you can,
I'm
you can
sure.
give Stephanie a hug, you can give Seth Rollins a hug, and vice versa. It's fine. It would be creepy if he only hugged the girls.
Well, it is kind of creepy, but it doesn't matter anyway, man. Um. Anyway, let's move on from that. I don't want to talk full on about obviously what happened yesterday, because at the end of the day we did do a review show and you can check it out here. But I do want to ask one more thing before we move on. Do you think it was too much with what I told you, I guess, off the air before we get into it? Obviously, again, because I did
Was
ask
what
you
too much?
about the fans and just the way they
Oh,
took
the
over and all
fans.
that.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like I'm the only person that has a platform that doesn't care what the fans do.
Okay,
Like you
good.
never
That's
hear
good.
me. You've never once. I think you've asked me every time you've had a chance, but you've never once heard me say, "Oh, these fans is all they're singing and they're dancing and all." You never hear me say anything about the fans. Just I don't care
No,
what the
no.
fans do. They can do what they want, and especially, you know, it's up to everybody else to feel how they feel about it. I don't care though.
Yeah, look, I never cared either, but I did care with this only because it was just very classless. That's all. You know what I mean? It was just at the whole different level. Like I said, you need to check it out to see what I mean. It was embarrassing in that sense. But anyway, who cares? If you haven't watched it, go check it out for yourselves. It was just weird. Anyway, let's see. When it comes to the other news, what's it called? There was something important about TNA. Oh, yeah, that's right. Mickey James announced for the TNA Hall of Fame, I
What the
guess, at
fuck?
Bound for Glory.
That was weeks ago. Don't you have any real actual news from
Oh,
like recently? Weren't you going to
that's
ask me about all the list of people that was released out of
oh
NXT and
well. I was going to
Evolve?
get to that. I was going to get the NXT releases, especially,
Yeah,
which is pretty crazy.
Mickey J's being
Um,
announced was like months ago.
why is everyone talking about it now? I saw it
I
all over social
I
media,
don't
man. It's
know.
weird. That's strange, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it's weird. But anyway, let's get to the releases. I just got to go a couple of pages because obviously shit's been updated quite a bit since. But yeah, what about Wesley anyway being released? That's the big one, dude. Um, is that a shocker to you? I mean, what have they really done with him anyway recently? They really haven't done that too much, right?
Oh man. Well, fans of the Next Level Wrestling Review are very familiar with how I feel about Wes Lee. So, um, was it a shocker to me? Only in the sense that they actually did it. Is it a shocker whether he should have been released or never hired? No, of course not. Like, what a waste of everybody's time. In fact, all three of the Rascals, like, as far as like what they can contribute to like a money drawing wrestling business, they could all go fuck themselves. No offense to the guys themselves. I'm just talking about like as an asset. You know, I'm sure they're wonderful guys or whatever, but all of them look like the worst examples of what everybody thinks an indie wrestler is. Like, you know, all spots, no size, and really the charisma is negligible. And the way they got over was copying a shitty sitcom that did a skit where people sat around and got high. Like that's the sole thing that they can say that they contributed to professional wrestling is that. So, in my opinion, good riddance, but it took too long. Should have never happened. It should have never been signed. But I am shocked that they did it only because it's like, well, for a while they were making me think that this guy is some kind of world beater. Like Wesley holds significant victories over significantly more marketable men, you know? And
Sure.
that whole thing we had to endure with his North American Championship run, which I was just rolling my eyes every week, and Big Ray was trying to make excuses for it. But there comes a point where you just have to give up. Like I remember, you can even picture, if I do this impression of Big Ray, you can picture him saying this, where he's like, I really like this kid, man. You know, you can hear Big Ray saying that, right?
Absolutely.
Well, like him all the way to the unemployment line. Don't worry, he'll be in TNA soon. And then you can have the full power Rascals.
Oh boy. Well, that was the top one, obviously. I guess the second biggest name in some ways, you could say, well, what about Lance Anoa'i? I've always
I
thought
don't know who that is.
Yeah, well, exactly. I actually never thought he had that much talent in the first place. Obviously, he's related to the Samoans, but he's bounced around obviously to numerous promotions. But I never saw him make his debut on NXT. So obviously, you haven't. So I guess he never made it to television. But
Maybe he was
anyway,
on the Level Up show.
Was he? Okay.
Maybe. I said maybe.
Yeah, I don't even recall him being there. Steve Turner is another one that's got released. Anything to say about him?
Well, it's a lady, first of all.
Oh, well, really? Oh, Stevie Turner, right? Exactly. With a name like that, dude, can you tell?
Well, you'd have to see her, but that's the problem. You didn't. And because so she had what I considered, now it was the wrong person, but you know how like people try to come up with gimmicks that are relevant today, right? So she got this gimmick where she was supposedly like a streamer, right? Like,
okay, interesting.
Like a streamer influencer. So she had like the colorful headphones and the what's up guys, like she tried to do a thing. It was like you could tell it was like an old man's idea of like what something's supposed to be. Like, oh, I've heard of this, so you can do it. But it wasn't actually done well, and she absolutely sucks. As far as like she had no her personality is I'm British. That's it. That's her whole personality. So she has no actual charisma. So they tried to give a gimmick to somebody that had no charisma to give them charisma. That never works. No one has ever been fooled into thinking that someone has charisma because of their gimmick, really. Eventually it all falls apart. So that was never going to work. However, the idea of having an active wrestler that's a current streamer, because a lot of wrestlers are doing that anyway. Like they stream on their own time for a shoot. So if you had that as a gimmick where you had to do live streams and stuff, can you imagine? It would just be like, the perfect person to do it would be Logan Paul. But
Makes
obviously,
sense.
but obviously you could have somebody else like be a full-time wrestler, but also doing this so that as soon as they're done with their match, you could see them like they could as a shoot, they could have a channel And it would be promoting the WWE because they're a WWE wrestler, right? So you can imagine them having a match, getting beat, coming back, starting their live stream with the headphones on, like sweaty and beaten, like, yeah. Oh, what's up, guys? Oh, Jesus. Like, I just, oh my God. Like you could see, they could do so much creative stuff with that as a promotional vehicle. It would be a reason to promote. It's like a meta commentary, but it's actually legitimately doing the thing that it's parodying. You know what I mean? But we didn't get any of that. They dropped that. They dropped that almost immediately when they realized she had no charisma. Then they said, well, you could be Ava's assistant along with Robert Stone. So now not only does she have one assistant, she has two assistants.
I remember now who she is now that you said that.
And it only took 1 or 2 weeks of her doing that before I and anybody else probably with a brain was like, man, I wonder how much money they could save if they cut her salary. Because what is she really doing? Whatever lines that she had to say, you could give those to Robert Stone too.
How does he even still have a job, bro?
I don't know, but it ain't gonna last. It ain't gonna last, so I hope he saved everything.
I hope you're right, but for whatever reason, he's like a cockroach in NXT, but it is what it is. After Stevie Turner, obviously we got Kylie Ray, who also got released. Anything to say about her?
You said Kylie Ray. I think her contract expired and they're not picking it up.
Okay, well,
she was working in Evolve. She was on Evolve anyway, right? So
yes, actually, she was kind of a big deal on Evolve from what I was reading, right?
A little bit, maybe. Was she the first WWE ID Women's Champion?
I think she was.
Did she win that one?
Fact.
Yeah, right, and Cappuccino Jones, obviously, see, that's me scouting the talent. Cappuccino Jones still with a job, still the ID champion. Kylie Ray, well, I didn't say anything about Kylie Ray, but apparently they didn't care much either.
It's weird, dude, because she seemed to have a bit of hype, but whatever, it is what it is. What about Zeta Steel?
I vaguely recognize that name.
I have no idea who she is, bro. Straight up.
I'm getting a picture in my mind, but I also keep thinking of Tyra May Steele and what's her name, Armstrong. Hold on. Oh no, I remember her. This is wasn't this the chick that said I don't know. She apparently also decided not to renew. I forget what she's known for, though. I apologize.
Okay.
Was she the one that? Was Zeta Steel the one that Mickey James said that all these chicks just have their ass out? And she was like, "That's what I want to do." Wasn't that her?
I'm not sure, man. So I don't want to say yeah, it is, and I'm wrong. So I'm not 100% certain, but. You've got a pretty good memory. You could be onto something. It could be the chick. I remember her saying something about that, but I didn't remember.
Yeah, you remember when Mickey James made that comment, right? Like,
right, absolutely.
And now Michelle McCool is the is the replacement.
Don't even fucking hell, bro. I mean, come on, dude. Like she's anyway. Well, I'll touch on that a bit later, but
trying to a white girl. Well, nice try, Zane, but she's Peruvian, so.
Or
whatever she is.
Next is Braden BJ Ray.
I don't know who that is. I think we can skip the rest of these people.
Well, let me see if there's anyone that you probably do know.
Oh, excuse me, Moroccan. I'm sorry, I didn't want to say Peruvian.
She's Arab.
She's Moroccan American.
There you go. Who's Draco Knox?
I don't know.
All right, well, everyone else is... I have no idea. There's Jamar Hampton, Zara Zeker, Jin Taylor, as in Taylor with a T-A-L-A, and Summer Sorrell, and Hayes Jameson. I have no idea who these names are, but they're the ones that got released, and that's that. They're all gone. Someone said in the chat, I think this was Texas, or this ain't Texas, saying weird these NXT cuts should be Evolve's game. You'd think that
Well, it's not two separate companies.
Right, exactly. It's all
because
WWE anyway, so-
essentially Evolve is already NXT's overflow. Like, we can't have all these people here, so go do this over here. And they're still cutting those people too.
has that become pretty much the next the level up show essentially, with a different name?
Yes,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Well,
And it's terrible. If you ever watched Evolve,
I haven't watched it.
the show is absolutely awful.
Really?
Yes, in every possible way. It's got like all the no budget of like early MLW stuff, but like the worst scripting ever. Like, everybody has a scripted, prepared promo, and they're all horrible. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I don't know how Jeff Lippman actually does it. He actually reviews that show, but I don't know, man.
I think he saw an opening in the market, and then I think he probably also now realizes why it's open.
Well, I don't blame him, but still, he seems to enjoy it, and bless his heart if it does. Shout out to Jeff. Yeah. So that were the releases. Any other major news? There really isn't much going on right now, man. How do you feel about? I know you did the next level, obviously, with Big Ray, but do you feel like, because the Hardy Boys contract is apparently running out in November, do you see them coming back to WWE on the short term?
For what? They can barely walk.
I know, but for whatever reason, I mean, they are the NXT tag champions, so it seems like WWE still see something in them, some sort of, they see money still, I guess, with nostalgia when it comes to the Hardy Boys. But you're right, they can't walk, they can't move. And I can only imagine the shit. I mean, how bad the match is going to be against the Dudleys at Bound for Glory. I mean, tell me you're looking forward to that.
I'm not. Well, if it could put an end to the Hardy Boys in-ring career for good, I'll take it. Oof. But yeah. I really do think that the Hardys' best use is as ambassadors. So, like, anytime WWE would have like an event where fans could show up and, meet and greets and photos and any products they need sold or like stuff like that, I would just roll the Hardy Boys out to do that kind of stuff and just keep them away from anything that resembles like physical or athletic competition.
I mean, that's fair enough. They should retire, man. That's for sure. Other than that, really, Vet, I don't see anything worthwhile, dude, that I'm just looking at. Honestly. Well, how do you feel about Nakamura coming back? Is it just a one-off, actually, or do you think he's just going to be lost in the shuffle again?
Well, he's definitely going to be lost in the shuffle, but I guess they just wanted to make him, like at least have an appearance before they're going to do the Super Show Japan stuff.
Yeah, well, that's true. Oh, one other thing. Also, Vince McMahon has been charged with reckless driving. And he's scheduled to appear in court in Connecticut on the 16th of the 10th this month, obviously.
Guess he didn't succeed in getting that thrown out.
I guess not, no. So he's probably going to, I mean, he won't get jail time, obviously. But he'll get a fine, I guess, and some sort of probation, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And also, did you hear about Michael Tarver? People would know him from being part of the Nexus stable back in the day. He had a stroke, man, which is, I'm starting to hear that too much amongst younger people. I mean, he seems all right about it, but still, man, I believe, doesn't he rap about Jesus and shit now these days? Isn't that what he's doing?
I honestly don't know. But it's unfortunate that he's having a stroke. And like you said, we shouldn't be hearing that. We should not be hearing that.
Is it the roids that's causing all this? Is it? I don't know if he's on drugs or whatnot. But
not really. It didn't used to.
It's a good point, man. I don't know, man. There's a lot going on with these guys, and they just need to take better care of themselves, of course. But obviously, he's doing all right now. He's moved past it for now, but still, they got to be careful. Grisham hasn't even come back yet, right?
Not that I know of.
Because he was still part of TNA, correct?
I think so. Wait, maybe? I don't know. That's the last place I saw him.
Yeah, well, that's anyway. We'll see what happens there. Do you think the WID program is absolutely failing right now? Is it starting to crumble, or am I just? I'm starting to see a lot of wrestlers like just backing away from it, or they're getting released from it. Like, do you think it's even a good idea for WWE to continue on with this ID program?
Is it a good idea?
To just keep going with
Well,
it?
I don't
Or do you
think I don't
they should-
think I don't think not one single person out there actually knows what it is. So I don't really feel like anybody that has formed an opinion on what it should or shouldn't be actually even knows what it is or what it's supposed to do. So I just file that under the category of it's none of my business. But I remember when I first heard about it, it seemed like a decent enough idea. Basically all you're saying is like you're keeping tabs on some of the up and coming indie talent
and they get
and give them a little
dibs,
bit,
right?
give them a little bit of money. It's almost like a scholarship, but not quite.
It is, yeah, essentially, kind of, right?
And a lot of and being a wrestler that, was expected to pay my own way, like I have to, I have to pay to learn, and then I have to also survive. Like I have to live my normal life, but then I have to pay for everything that it takes to be a wrestler as well. Like I'm not getting the money back yet. I was making an investment. So like,
how did you survive all that shit, man, during that time?
It's rough, but you just have to, you just have to figure it out. You have to find a way. So, these guys having a little bit of money to help with that, help make it as a wrestler so that they can, pay some bills or not have to worry about killing themselves with a 9 to 5 and then trying to get the weekends off so you can make your indie booking.
Imagine that.
I don't think any of them are going to complain about that. So it's a good thing for them. But
absolutely,
whatever, I know that when something like Raja Jackson happens, I know that people are just going to connect like, oh, this is a WWE affiliated school and this happened. So therefore 1 + 1 = 2. And that's a direct line, and WWE, it's their fault. So obviously everybody with a brain knows that's not how it works, but that's what people are going to say. So if the WWE cares about what those type of people think, these nobodies, then yeah, maybe it's not a good idea. But I'm pretty sure that they have a better understanding of what it's supposed to be than anybody else does. So it's up to them what they want to do with it.
It's interesting to see what happens there. Well, that was all the major news. Obviously, I'm sure you already know about the Raja Jackson situation. I'm not even going to get back into that. You guys would have spoken about it last week anyway. But I think it's time we start sifting, Vet. And I'm going to be honest with you. This retaining of, when they continue doing these Title Tuesdays, Homecoming Collisions, and whatever the hell, man, I just stare at it, bro. I just stare at it, and I remember like thinking to myself, okay, I need to like mark this in my head to remember something, and then it just disappears by the time the show finishes. It's I don't know, man. What is it with this company and these shows? Why does it do that? Because I feel like when I watch WWE, it's a lot easier to retain for whatever reason, even when it's really bad. But man, AEW, it's tough, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Everything takes so long in WWE, it's hard to forget. Hey, you will forget
There
it.
you go. Yeah.
Make no mistake, you will forget it. It just may take you a
Absolutely.
little bit longer. But as far as AEW goes, I mean, they're hot-shotting everything. So,
Like real fast too, man. Like, I mean, super duper fast.
yeah, not only are they hot-shotting everything, but everything's just, like you said, it doesn't last. It just moves on. Well, these matches some of them go through several breaks, but regardless, it still seems like, yeah, I don't know. well, why don't we just go through it and not worry about whether we could retain it or not? Because that's what we have notes for. We don't have to retain.
That's true. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's put the gloves on and start sifting, Vet, because you got to love this opening promo, right? I mean, with Samoa Joe and Hangman Adam Page, of course.
Yes. Well, of course, we're at Dynamite Title Tuesday now.
2.5 hour show, mind you.
Oh, yeah, of course. So Shivani is in the ring, and he's going to hold this face-to-face with Hang Person and Samoa Joe. I believe they promised no physicality.
That's right.
Did
That's
they
what
promise
they said,
that?
Right. That's true. They did say that. And there wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, no. But, so basically the whole gist of this was that Samoa Joe called Hangman a fraud, and Hangman's like, well, no, I'm not, and I'm going to beat you. So,
and mic drop.
yeah, you can imagine. Yeah, you can imagine how great this sounded. What I really took away from this is Samoa Joe pouring sweat out there.
Oh shit, dude, that's exactly what was going through my mind, man. It was pretty savage, man. That worries me. He's just standing there, dude.
Yeah. So, that's basically, that's what I took away from it. I'm worried about now that Joe's going to have a heart attack or a stroke.
Don't say that. Knock on, damn it. There's no wood. Oh, here we go. Knock on wood. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, that went through my mind too, dude, because I don't know, is it warming up over there or it should be cooling down where in your neck of the woods, really? But I assume Florida is kind of warmish all year round, right?
Could be. And Joe was in a full suit.
That's
so
true.
Maybe that has something to do with it.
I mean, you hardly ever see him in a suit, but he looked all right in the suit. But damn it, yeah, that's sweating.
Yeah, he was so sweaty he couldn't ignore it. Like he actually had to take both his hands and.
It was pretty bad, man. It was pretty bad. But yeah, that's exactly what went through my mind. And I don't want to shit on Hangman so much because like we always do. And you know what? It did feel like he was just blah, 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 blah. Like he's just yammering on. But to be fair, I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible. It was still a decent promo by Hangman. It's just that we've heard all this bullshit before when it comes to him. So I'll give him that. But still, it doesn't impress me.
Yeah, and in the spirit of being unbiased and fair, I've heard all the shit that Samoa Joe said too from Samoa Joe. So basically, it's two guys going out there and saying stuff that they always say.
Right.
And I'm not interested. So anyways, Alicia is with the
your character. Literally like, fuck it.
the Alicia is with the conglomeration, but Roddy is still not with the conglomeration. He doesn't.
He's not officially?
No, he just will not. Nope, he just won't. He will not give in. Kyle really wants him to, and he won't. So he's still not there. But we got a big match. It's Jon Moxley versus Big Tom. Okay, obviously, look, I did my best to, try to enjoy this as an a la carte thing because with Ishii's out there, I'm trying to enjoy it, but Jon Moxley's also out there and I just can't. Sorry.
It's the same routine too, dude, over and over. You know what I mean? They say about John Cena's 5 moves of doom. He's really got 5 moves of doom. And I mean that literally. The back scratch, which I don't understand why he even does that. Like, really, it's stupid, dude. I know it's an old school heelish type of move, but come on, dude. We're in 2025. It doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? All it does is keep scratching my back, if anything. But you know what I mean? Zane, it's kind of chilly actually at night at the moment, dude. By the way, that's why I'm wearing a hoodie. Anyway, but yeah, I didn't care about this. We've already seen this match before, dude. It's exactly the same. It started off exactly the same way. The boo yeah. I mean, what can I say? Moxley wins.
Yeah, Moxley wins. A referee stoppage when he puts a choke on.
He's a killer, bro.
He's a killer.
What do you want me to tell you? The
and that's just it. That's just
That's
it.
it.
So like you spend so much time with the Death Riders and them always swarming around and generally causing mayhem and stuff, and then sometimes John Moxley just goes out and beats a guy.
Yeah.
No shenanigans, no, whatever. I mean, Marina did get involved. I'm not gonna say that, but it seems like I don't like it when they do it, and yet when they don't do it, it doesn't make sense. So like either way, like they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. If they have a post-match thing, I get mad because I'm like, I'm tired of this. And if they don't do it, I'm like, why didn't you do it? You do it every other time. So
what do you
never makes
want,
sense.
Vet? What do you
Doesn't
want, man?
matter. Let's just go to the next thing.
Let's do it. Let's move.
Renee catches the Young Bucks banging on Tony Khan's door, trying to get a meeting with him. I'm sure he's afraid for his life in there, so that's probably why he's not
100%.
answering.
Oh,
But what I noticed, and whatever you did, don't ever do that again.
I didn't mean it.
When the only thing I noticed was that Tony Khan has his name on the door with a little placard, but the placard is done in like the Time Cop style, like with the background and the font. It says Tony Khan, but it's using the Time Cop font, so make that tracks. Next is the Demand versus the Hurt Syndicate in a street fight.
Yeah, I guess it means wear your clothes while doing this, right? I guess. Like,
Yeah, just like you would in the streets. But there's one
Right.
important other thing about this, which is it had a kendo stick in it. Therefore, I disavowed this. Hands off. Anything you want to say about it, Jimmy?
honestly, this is the worst match I've seen with the Hurt Syndicate. I hate to say. Usually, I'd be actually very interested when I see these guys come on my television. I'll watch it. I don't know why, but I couldn't get into it, man. So I guess I wasn't the only one that felt that way, because you did too. So I felt like it went too long as well. For a street fight, there was just a whole bunch of. It was a mess to me, literally. So no, I've got really nothing much to say about that other than the Hurt Business end up winning the match.
Hey, all right. Well, now they're one apiece, I guess.
I guess they are, which means
How
we're
do
gonna
you
get
settle
another one.
this? A stadium stampede with just
Yeah,
just six
probably.
people?
for sure.
Renee is with the Don Callis family, and I didn't even write any notes because that's the whole notes. It's just the size of the family that is standing here.
That was a lot. It was big, dude.
It's quite a family.
A whole bunch of them.
Jurassic Express versus two guys.
I have no idea who those two guys were, but
I think one of them
Cool.
was KM, who, believe it or not, was actually somebody they were kind of giving a push in TNA at one point,
really,
like years ago.
I think I've heard of KM before now.
Or Impact. It was called Impact when he was there still. But
What is
But
a KM? Is that his initials?
it's his initials. It's Kevin something. It doesn't matter. No one will ever remember this guy. Here's the thing. You can't, I keep saying this, you cannot name yourself initials. You can't just
Not
do that.
really.
Even CM Punk has a punk in it, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
right.
You don't just
Spot
call
on.
yourself CM. Like, what
it's-
the shit is that? That's not over. RVD has initials, but he's Rob Van Dam and everybody knows that. You know?
Exactly. I'm trying to think of anyone that's over with just initials. There really isn't.
No. Everybody all knows what the initials. Even Triple H, like when his name is on the screen, it spells out the word triple.
Right. Exactly. See? Yeah. There you
It's
go.
not
I know
three H's, it's Triple
Right.
H.
It's true.
So-
it's true.
That's the dumbest thing ever, and it always makes me laugh, and it has for like almost 30 years. But
Same here, dude.
yeah, but still, like the point is he's not getting over with those initials, and those guys like this, like KM or LSG or any of these indie guys or Ring of Honor guys that are just gonna name themselves initials. That's where your career will end. You got to have a cool, strong name. And that goes for these kids in NXT, like that get these shitty names. Pick a better name. They allegedly, I hear everybody say they get to choose like off a list of like possible names. So stop
shit.
picking badly. Pick a good one.
I call cap on that one, man. Straight up. But they're probably scared to speak up too. To be honest, I mean, let's be real here. But anyway,
yeah. So anyway,
that's-
Jurassic Express wins. The Bucks are in the stands watching. Jack Perry. This is his updated costume because he's you know, I don't know if he's Jungle Boy or what, but he is Jurassic Express. So now to have somewhat of the gimmick, right? Instead of having a loincloth now, he's got the black jeans, but he's got an empty like knife sheath on his belt. There's no knife in it, but there's a sheath there. So if he did have a knife, oh man, you know, that's his little piece of charisma, having a knife sheath on his jeans belt.
You know what? I know this is out there, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I don't know why, but I feel like this Jurassic Express thing is not going to last as long as we think. I think he might even turn on what's his name, Luchasaurus, eventually again.
Let's not
something not right.
Let's not care about that.
Exactly.
Let's not care about that. Anyway, they win, and the Bucks jump them after, and they want a match at Wrestle Dream.
Why? I have no idea why, but yeah, exactly. They want a match, and they get a match, and that's how much I feel about it. They're making me yawn just talking about it.
I have a question here from Aaron Benchlomo. Vet, in your professional opinions of former wrestlers, more boring, Jungle Jack or Daniel Garcia? Well, it's Jack Perry, but
easy.
You know,
Garcia can talk at least. You got to give him that compared to Perry.
Yeah. There's some semblance of professionalism there with Daniel Garcia, even though I still don't care.
Right.
Jack Perry is an actor's kid. End of story.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's got nothing to offer the business. So, speaking of nothing to offer the business, the Death Riders do a promo here. All of them.
As per usual.
And then we get our big hyped up rematch, Kyle versus Kyle 2.
God. Yeah. Well, we all knew which Kyle was going to win this match, and it was the Australian Kyle that won the match.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Colin? Wreckage. Yeah, nothing to say. I didn't care about the match, really. Again, who cares? We all knew that Kyle Fletcher was going to win the match anyway.
Yeah. Now, when they had Kyle versus Kyle 1 on Collision, you know, however long ago that was, the fans took over and they were chanting stuff the whole time. Like, you know, let's go Kyle, or, you know, like every you sick Kyle. Like, you remember, funny. Like they did all that stuff, but there was none of that this time. No one was interested.
And he warned them too in that promo. You better not start doing that friggin' those chants, and they didn't. Ironically, which is funny.
Yeah, because they didn't know what he was talking about, because they didn't watch Collision either.
They probably didn't. Nah.
Just like nobody does. You know?
Oh boy.
It's a rib that we have to. But anyway, yeah. So of course, the Don Callis family are sore winners, so they got to beat the shit out of him afterwards. And Mark Briscoe comes down to make the save. So, you know, there you go. Got to stick up for the conglomeration. And then Renee follows up and asks Kyle Fletcher, "Why'd you run?" And Don Callis says something about Mark Briscoe getting a title shot at Wrestle Dream. Okay, well,
cool. I guess.
All the heels are definitely putting up the challenges. We just saw the Young Bucks say we want a match at Wrestle Dream. Now Don Callis putting Kyle's title on the line at Wrestle Dream. You know, like this is how you do it, right? Isn't this how you book wrestling? The heels are they're very excited to compete, and they want to prove they're the best.
Absolutely, bro. That's what the heels in 2025 do. They want to prove that they're the best. So ridiculous. But anyway, yeah.
That's funny that you said, yeah, good transition, because here is our next match. Mercedes Moné versus Lacey Lane.
Yeah, this was a trip out, actually. A pleasant surprise, I guess.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I wrote down as my notes for this match?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wrote. But I was thinking of it more like it would have, if I said it out loud, it would sound more like this. Yeah.
Oh, so in other words, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Unfortunately, right. And she does lose. And she's, like Labrat says, she's 10 belts Mercedes now, dude. She won another shindy crap belt somewhere.
Amazing.
Amazing, right? So I can't get over. You know what's weird about Mercedes? I truly think that she's really like into this shit. Like she's proud to be that 10 belt friggin' champion, bro. You know what I mean? I truly believe that. They're just they're nothing belts though, dude. There's no relevance to them. Like really, there isn't. So whatever, man. If that's what she wants her gimmick to be, cool. But really, until she becomes world champion, does it really matter?
If she does become world champion, does it really matter?
Exactly. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Right. Exactly. Same old. Right.
Chris Statlander's your champion. How's that going? It's
and that
just
really
amazing,
doesn't
right?
matter.
So
Yeah,
I
fuck
just,
it, man.
yeah, but that's the thing though. Like, I know people just have this opinion of Mercedes, don't know where it comes from, but why not? Why not have all these belts? What's wrong with it? Is she asking for the belts? I mean, people are booking her and they're like, "Hey, have my belt." Obviously, it's a for that they may have some to you it may be some shindy as you called it, but at the same time to that shindy, they're like, "Well, this is what we got." I would love for my belt to be on a famous wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Who's ever going to be a more famous champion than this? So of course they're going to book her if they can and let her win a belt. And what Mercedes is going to be like, well, yeah, this adds to my gimmick because people are getting pissed. Just the fact that people are like talking all this shit about her carrying all these belts around is exactly the point. That's what she wants because she's supposed to be a heel. So like,
right.
I would do the same thing if I were in that position.
But
yes, give me every belt. I would be getting even more ridiculous in it. You know,
I think she would be demanding it, Vet, for real, for whatever reason.
No, I don't think she would demand it. I just think she realizes like, okay, I see where this is going. I can just go with this. And maybe she's not thinking anything at all. Maybe Tony's like, what if she has all these belts? And she's like, yeah, I got, okay, whatever. Like she's just coming to work and it's his idea for her to be the Ultimo Dragon. But we're blaming her because that's what a mark would do. Well, I'm not. Everybody else is. They're saying it's her attitude and her problem. And she's like really the character that she's playing. Everybody's assuming that. And it could be none of that.
Right. I mean, that's true. But Zane brings up a funny sort of point. You do know about the belt count with Brandon, right?
Of course.
I mean, how funny is it? Because we always predict, whenever we do the watch-alongs, we always predict how many belts we're going to see, which is pretty funny. And Malaka Jones clearly wants us to answer what's our favorite belt because he continuously talks about it in the chat. But do you have a favorite belt, Vet, as a matter of fact, of all time? Whether it's looks or just whatever.
I do. I always like the they call it the winged eagle, which I hate. That feels like acid in my mouth
Eagles
saying it because
wings.
Yeah, every eagle has wings. Like, what the hell are you talking about? But that belt, yes, I do like that one. It's always been to me like the main plate, the proportions of it, you know, like it all like looks really good to me. And it coincidentally, or maybe not 100% coincidentally, it just came. It was around at the time when I was a child and I was just becoming a big fan. So technically, even though Hogan had that other belt before it, and that was when I started wrestling.
Right. That's
like I started watching wrestling when he had that, and then they just randomly switched it over. Like that, that's the belt I associate with, you know, that era. But even without that, I just really like that belt design better than any other belt, I think.
It's class, man. You know what I mean? It really is. And I agree. That's my favorite belt, especially the Ultimate Warrior variation, the light blue sort of strap. I always loved that version. I had the chance to buy it too for not that expensive. But you know what? I've never owned the belt, but I thought about buying that and I didn't do it. And I have no regrets because I don't care. But I'm just saying that the winged eagle one, like you said, which is ridiculous, is for sure the best belt. 100%. Second favorite is probably the old school Intercontinental Championship, if anything. I even like the tag. That whole era of belts actually were all pretty good, even the tag belts.
Yeah. Yeah, that set of 3 belts, I guess in my mind, it just set the standard for what a belt was.
Right.
So like maybe if had I grown up watching NWA, maybe I would think that about their belts, but
yeah, I'm like you. I was a WWF kid growing up. But I will say that the WCW United States Championship is probably one of the best looking belts too.
Yeah, it is. And there's been a lot of good belts, but we're not doing a belt show. We're doing
but
we need to importantly talk about you know, Sammy Guevara and Mortos.
Oh yes. Wait, can I do that?
Doing a promo.
The Beast. Mortos.
Anyway.
Yeah, and then Eddie and Hook doing a promo.
Yeah. Does this mean now, since Mortos and Guevara are a thing now, does that mean Mercedes has totally forgiven Guevara now?
Yes.
They might be friends even, possibly. I mean, come on.
Yes. You'll still never see them in the same room, but
that's true. But at least look, the man that Mercedes is with, they're a thing now with that guy that said something really bad. But anyway, you know what I mean. I think we're on the way to redemption now with Sammy, hopefully, and Mercedes.
Well, maybe with her, but never with me. So
good.
Finally, we have a match. It's a double Jeopardy eliminator match. Now, what this means is that obviously, if Okada and Takeshita win, they get a shot at the championships. But however, if anybody on that team loses, even if it's Takeshita that loses, who Takeshita has no belts, but if they pin him, that person gets a shot at Okada's, whatever his belt is now.
Yeah.
Unified. It's the unified.
That's it. The unified belt.
So that's the double Jeopardy. Everything's on the line here. The stakes of this match really matter. So anyway, so you already know what the match is going to be. You know it's going to be Okada and Takeshita like not getting along and having a rivalry with each other. But they don't really do anything interesting. They just kind of stare at each other a lot. Like,
that's it. That's what I'll do.
Like they'll do something rude,
commercial breaks, right? Yeah.
Like a hard tag themselves in, but then they just stare at each other. They're not even like talking to each other, like talking shit. They're just staring. Well, Takeshita sometimes is trying to yell, like, "What are you doing?" And Okada just looks at him, which is fine. But
I'm not hating on this that much though. I do like where we're gonna hopefully get to by the end of it. You know what I mean? I think them two are going to have a crazy match when they do get there.
Yeah, well, so, that happens the whole time. And then the rest of the time you got to watch Brody King. Now, the other problem with this, if you call it a problem, is, so like we talked about last week, Bandito's hurt. Like he dislocated his shoulder. So he's got his shoulder back in, but he's still wrestling with it. And for, if that's the case, then this match went pretty long and he was pretty active in it.
He was.
So much for having a tag team partner that's got your back. Like I would have tried to take more of the match for poor Bandito, but anyways, he did a lot, and
good friend. Good friend Birdie is.
And they didn't even really do that much with the arm either. Like you would think. He's got the tape on it, or that whatever you want to call that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a brace or something on it.
Right.
And they don't really do much with it, but anyways, they do beat him. So, and that comes when Takeshita had basically had the match won, but of course Okada tags himself in and slides it, does a Rainmaker and beats him. So, but
that's it, done and dusted.
yeah, but what should Takeshita care, because he's going to get a tag team title match now, so it should be fine, right?
Well, apparently, allegedly, we'll see what happens. Look, I'm like I said, I'm a little intrigued by these two. We'll see where it goes. Obviously, it's like whose dick is bigger, between these two, and who's got who's got callus in the ear more so than anything. But do you think after they do have their match eventually, will they be able to coexist as two stable mates?
Sure. I'm just so tired of. I only hear that word coexist in wrestling.
Well, where do you think I learned that from, Vet?
Yeah, exactly. So Renee is with Willow and Jet Speed.
Yeah, exactly. Roll the eyes.
They say something. FTR and Stokely answer, and Stokely says, "Who needs hoes when you have two bad bitches?" And that's when
FTR for a second.
Yeah, at first he did, but then right after he said that, Megalope walked in. Thankfully,
dude, how big did friggin' Bane look amongst all of them? She looked like a freaking giant, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what the fuck, man? They should never bring Bane when FTR's even in the same room, because she made them look like dwarfs, bro, and it looks bad, in my opinion. But that's just
I'm fine with it.
Of course you are, absolutely. And so am I in many ways. But you get my drift, dude. It's not a good look.
No. Well, they said Top God's out, or she did. So,
Top
or somebody
God's
did,
out, right.
or Stokely did, whoever. Somebody said Top God's out. So Renee gets a word with Brodito.
The way Bandito talks, man, I was like, what the hell?
He's trying his best, So Brody's still confident, though, that they're going to be able to get the win at Wrestle Dream. He also seemed to imply heavily that he thought Bandito is the best wrestler on the planet, which I don't even know if he's the best luchador in this company.
Hell no.
No offense to him, but there's some good luchadors here. The main event, Jimmy, is Orange versus Bastard.
Wow.
Now, the first question I have for you is, what do you think of the Bastard's new gear?
I was thinking that, dude. I'm not sure, man. He looks like a like what back in the 1920s when they were on their ships, fucking traveling around finding continents and whatnot. Maybe 1800s. Around that time, it's like just some bum that was part of the crew on Captain Cook's damn ship, for example. That's what he reminds me of, bro. Because I don't know how I feel just by that look. I will say though, I don't know if it's what he's wearing that makes him look even bigger, but he looks, he's got like a 10-pack, it look like, bro. Like those abs look massive. He looks huge, bro. But I don't know if I like the look, man. He looks like a bum, bro, straight up.
What about the gear, though? Because, see, now he's got long tights. Well, he's got long tights now, so his legs are covered. And if I had quads like that, I would definitely be wearing smaller trunks than he used to wear, not bigger trunks.
Yeah, I don't like it, dude. I don't like the overall look. I know he's trying to maybe evolve himself. Is that really evolving? I don't look at it as if maybe he's trying to fit in to this, Moxley's crew thing, the Cock Riders. Maybe he's trying to fit in a lot better than he used to. Do you know what I mean? He looked too much like a professional wrestler previously with his previous look. So I guess he's trying to make himself look more grittier, shall we say.
Well, that's interesting that he's trying to look more like a wrestler, because Orange Cassidy wins with a wrestling move after. Look, if you like this kind of wrestling and these kind of guys, they had a good match. They definitely were working hard out there. But
yeah, for sure.
We know that you can't just win a match against the Death Riders without paying a penalty. So they try to make him pay the penalty, but Darby comes out. And Darby has got a stun gun.
And Molotovs, bro. What the hell?
Yes, Darby Allin takes out a Molotov cocktail, threatens to light it,
He's
and
crazy,
security tackles.
bro.
The first time a security guard has ever done anything on a wrestling show before.
Ever, dude. I was shocked. Shocked.
Yeah, I would expect them all to stand in front of this bomb as he's getting ready to light it and be like, "No, no, Darby, no, no, don't do it, Darby, don't." No, they just tackled him because this is serious now. So
Yeah, so now
why don't you give that guy a contract first of all?
Exactly, because he speared the shit out of fucking Darby. That was good stuff. The way they reacted, the way it looked, that was very realistic, dude. I'll give him that. But now my issue is, so all these years previously that they were just nothing. Now suddenly I'm supposed to believe that these guys are actually the real deal. Like,
furthermore,
it either makes Darby look bad. It makes everything look bad. I don't like that, dude. That's the problem.
Well, furthermore, now they have to do it every time anybody does anything.
That's the problem.
Because how can we only have security do something one time ever? You have to do it every time from now on, or else you're, you know. But no one's going to remember this, so it won't matter anyway. They'll forget about this. It's like they forget about everything.
Yeah, well, Osama bin friggin' Allen. That's what we can call him now.
So, you know, in a perfect world, this would almost make a twisted kind of sense because Darby is just, he's becoming unhinged to the degree that like the Death Riders have been unhinged.
Yes, exactly.
It's like he's been pushed to this point.
On. Right.
So like you can kind of understand that, but at the same time, also you can't, like you would have to keep this up. You can't just do it on Wednesdays and Saturdays or Tuesdays in this case, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
right.
You would show up everywhere. Now, granted, and I'll say it now, even though I was going to mention it later, Moxley was at New York Comic-Con and Darby attacked him at the panel or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But it's got to be like more than that. Like if you made a man this crazy, now he's got to follow you everywhere. He's got to do it at your house. He's got to do it everywhere. And you got to, you know, but they're not going to do that. It's just because it's just wrestling and it's not going to be consistent. Like you said, because they never done it before. Security's never done this before. I don't know. It just, then also like so now you've teased a Molotov cocktail. But you already set a guy on fire at 2 different occasions.
That's
like
true.
and it's always Darby doing it. Darby set Jack on fire and Darby set Mox on fire with a flamethrower and, you know, what was it? A acetylene torch respectively. Right. So
exactly.
now you've pulled out a Molotov cocktail. You didn't get to light it, but
It's close. But
you've teased it now. So what is that going to mean in the I Quit match? If you're going to have a whole I Quit match, I guess I'm expecting to see a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, and bombs and AK-47s. I mean, bring everything out, dude. Why not?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Or no, we'll just bring one screwdriver, and then all we'll do with it is we'll stick it in your earlobe and twist it. You know.
Like Zane says, you got to pay for it, but it's true. I guess you do. But you're right. You can't go. Why do these things actually, Vet, if you're only going to have an I Quit match anyway, right? And what's the bet that this I Quit match will be mainly in the ring with hardly any weapons at first until much later, probably? You know, I don't know, man. It's going to suck. That's all I know.
Well, speaking of that, that's a good transition for Collision because now we are on a Saturday night. Saturday night's all right for fighting.
Apparently so.
Yep. We get the promos. Okay. We get all our promos.
Clap for consistency suddenly.
Yep. And we're starting out with random Kota Ibushi versus Josh Alexander.
God.
So there's only one reason to talk about this match because
forget everything else. Just the injury.
Yes. Kota Ibushi. My God.
He's a freaking klutz, bro. I mean,
I don't even
don't
know
know, bro.
what to say about. Forget any judgment. I'll just tell you what happened. Josh Alexander had him up in a fireman's carry on the top rope.
You're right.
Not all the way up on the top rope, but like, you know, that's where they're at. They're at the top turnbuckle doing a thing, and he picks him up on his shoulders. And then they go for the spot where they're both supposed to like fall outside. And the way Kota Ibushi lands when he falls outside, he breaks his femur.
And it didn't look as bad initially. I watched it a couple of times thinking, but dude, yeah, he's fucked up like from it. And but what's weird, how did he end up sort of going the other way and like flew that way?
I think he just tried to kayfabe the landing and ended up hurting himself because I don't know. Your body isn't meant to be in certain positions. And if his legs fell just a certain way and he broke one, it's hard to break your femur. Like that bone is designed not to be broken. So if you don't know what that is, that's the bone in your thigh. It's like the biggest bone in the body.
That's nuts, dude. How do you do that, bro? Like,
I don't know, but that's what I heard reported was that that's what happened. So I don't know. I don't know. You can't blame I mean, obviously this could have happened on anything. It just so happened to be on something that was stupid, but like a lot of things that happen in matches are stupid and guys don't get hurt. So you just never know. But yeah, but it seems to be one thing after another with him. So, you know, it's just really unfortunate for this guy because he has to keep coming back from catastrophic injuries, it seems.
True, man. And it's changed him too. On top of that, the worse of the injuries are getting, the worse he's kind of changing even as a person, man. He's gone. Look, I'm worried about him in many ways because not only is he obviously very reckless in some ways, but he's also lost his mind in some ways too. He's not the same Kota that he was 10 years ago, put it that way, like at all. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on with him, but...
Well, he's always struck me as a little bit stupid.
Well, yeah, he's always been a little bit stupid, to be fair. But Mikey sees, if you're being serious, we're talking about Kota Ibushi. That's who we're talking about. That's who got injured.
So now, the other thing, Josh Alexander, on the other hand. Now, I already, back in TNA, I already washed my hands of Josh Alexander. Like there comes a point where as a wrestler, like I had there's like a last straw with some guys. Right. Like they'll do something and then like after they do that one thing, it may not be the first thing, but it's definitely the last thing. And then I try to be nice to people. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. I try to be fair and all that other stuff. But after whatever the straw is that breaks my back, I always just, I'm like, fuck you. And Josh Alexander's been a fuck you for a long time. The reason why is because he had a match with Eric Young. Now, these are guys like Josh Alexander has had a neck surgery that he had to come back from. Josh Alexander has a wife and a kid that he has to support.
I remember that during that time too, right?
Yeah, and he did some shit in the match where, I don't know, it was some stupid, I don't even remember what it is now, but it's some kind of like suplex onto a table, something that both these guys should have known better than to do what they did. It was unsafe. It was unnecessary. It was both of their faults, but mostly Josh's fault because, he did it badly. And it just, like, when I saw it, I was just like, yeah, whatever, fuck him. So basically, this is another situation where now nobody got hurt that night, even though I decided, fuck both these guys. But Kota did get hurt here because of some shit that Josh Alexander did. Now, it's not that Josh Alexander did something actually to break his leg. It's not. I don't even know that it was his idea to do the spot if it was an agent or something that suggested something, or Kota Ibushi suggested it. I don't care whose idea it was, and I don't care whether it was his fault or not. But this just, you're just at the center of something dangerous. When, he fell outside the ring too. So he could have gotten hurt badly as well. Sure. He didn't. Kota did. It's just, I don't understand what it's going to take for these people to realize, like, your match in the first half of Collision on a random Saturday, not even leading to a pay-per-view, your match doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry to tell you guys this. Your match doesn't mean jack fucking shit, and no one cares, and no one's watching, and no one will remember who watched.
So why risk yourselves, right?
Yeah.
I know, it's stupid.
You don't need to go to the top rope for anything in the match on the spot on the card you're in. So just don't.
And they should know this. That's the thing, right? You'd think they would know this, but clearly
You would think after your neck got broken, you'd be like, I think I'll be more careful with things. You can still have if you can't have a good match without going to the top rope and doing a spot where you both fall outside the ring, I guess you're not a worker.
Facts,
so whatever.
Man.
Anyways.
Facts.
Yeah. So anyway, after this happens and Kota takes the count out, right? So, they did that at least. And then a random Mark Davis just comes in and starts punching Kota Ibushi. I was like, what? Mark Davis?
Bro? And where's he been anyway?
Yeah, where the fuck has he been?
With his fat ass and shit. Like, seriously.
He's fatter than ever. He's greasier than ever.
What is he doing? Nothing.
He's wetter than ever. It's probably that humidity down in Florida, like you were talking about with Joe and all that. Yeah.
They were outdoors too. That's what's funny.
Yeah. So a random Mark Davis comes in, starts punching Kota Ibushi, who's shoot hurt, but that's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, obviously he wasn't in danger. Like, he wasn't endangering Kota Ibushi any further.
No, I know.
But it's still just silly how it's randomly Mark Davis out of all people. And then, so he comes out, and then Kenny Omega runs out, and he has a trash can, and he fights everybody off with the trash can. They all run away.
Oh, scary stuff, the trash can.
Yeah, which was probably going to be, I'm sure the finish of the match was originally going to be Kota Ibushi just beats Josh Alexander, and then Mark Davis slides in, and then the announcers are going to be like, oh my God, that's Mark Davis. We haven't seen him in whatever. And then they start beating up Kota, and then Kenny comes out to make the save.
Right.
I just find it funny that he still came out and did the spot, even though the announcers had no time to care. The camera was not focused on it. It just randomly, he came in like a flash, like out of the corner of your eye. Yeah.
Mark Davis, bro. Like,
fucking Mark Davis. That's your guy.
I can't stand.
Oh no, wait, you distance yourself from all Australians. You're not a part of that.
I actually did prefer Fletcher out of Aussie Open than Davis at the time, or Dunkzilla, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, he's dunking his donuts in something. All right, probably extra lard.
He's got a weird body, dude.
He does have a weird body. All right,
he does.
You know who doesn't have that weird of a body? Mark Briscoe. Okay,
he doesn't. He's got a
normal body,
right?
And he's got a normal body, but he's got an abnormally good promo, because this promo was serious Mark Briscoe. When Mark Briscoe is serious Mark Briscoe, you can definitely hear Jay in him. You can definitely hear the family in his voice when he's not doing this voice and saying things like the word of the day is conglomeration, baby. Like when he's not doing that and he just does the normal talking voice, you can definitely hear Jay in there. So I like that. Probably the best thing all week, if I'm being honest. Just this very short, random on Collision promo against Kyle Fletcher, because they got a match coming up. It was like 30 seconds or less. It wasn't even long, but it's still probably the better thing that happened this week.
I mean, well, there's other things that also happened this week, but yeah, no, I mean, he's great, man. I always enjoy watching him. But you could tell he was thinking about his promos though. Sort of like you can see him thinking a lot when he does do those sort of type of promos. But yeah, man, he does invoke his brother in many ways too these days when he does those more serious style of promos for sure.
The Learning Tree versus the Reunited Acclaimed is your next match.
Oh, God. I don't know who I feel. I'm kind of starting to feel bad for Big Bill now, actually, Vet, for real, dude. He's just being wasted.
Are you feeling sorry for Big Bill because he's not on the cover of Gay Times?
Hey, Gay Time's a good ice cream, like I said last week. But I mean, look, man, the Acclaim get their win again, even though they're not getting along, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But who's worse off here? I feel like Bowens is the real prick between these two, and it's not really. Yeah. It's all about the pride, dude.
Yeah, it's not. Somehow he was supposed to be the superstar babyface, and it's not working out. You know, but
would you consider him heels right now? Still, both of them.
Yeah, I think. He's definitely.
Bowens is definitely.
Yeah, Bowens is definitely acting more like a heel, and Max is being more sympathetic. This was an opportunity for a throwback of like him coming out and doing a rap, on his way to the ring, a freestyle, and he didn't.
He hasn't done that in ages, dude.
No.
From what I remember.
Now he looks like he's totally fine with being back together, even though,
and being
Bowens isn't.
I mean, can we see Bowens walking him like a dog at this point? I mean, seriously, are they ever going to get back to normal? You think these two are they going to get on the same page?
I don't know. Doesn't
I
matter.
got a feeling it's going to go nowhere, dude. When it comes to AEW and them trying to figure this shit out, it's going to get lost in the shuffle with them any day now. Just like where's Jeff Jarrett? I thought he was going to win a world title this year.
Man, well, year's not over.
It's not.
The Bang Bang Gang promo interrupted by an angry Learning Tree. Let's just move on. Dream Girl Ellie and Carolina Cruz versus Ty J.
Why?
I guess if I could say one thing about this match, and I mean this in a more positive way than the kids usually say it, but this match was ass.
I didn't expect that. Well, it was ass, literally, in many ways.
Everywhere.
Shit. Everywhere, absolutely. A lot of ass. And it was ass. But yeah, nothing special, of course.
It was just,
As long as there's a whole lot of ass, it's all good, man. You can be as crap as you want.
Yeah. Lexi is with a conglomeration. I don't remember what they said. The Demand got a vignette. It wasn't very long. I don't remember what they said. They show footage of Darby attacking Mox at Comic-Con. That speaks for itself. Death Riders are in the stairwell doing a promo. Even Marina says words this time. But Moxley says he promises that wherever he sees Darby Allin next, he's going to smash his face in.
Sure he will. He probably will, actually. There will be a time where he probably does do that. But yeah, no, I wouldn't pay them to watch him pee, Frank, for crying out loud. God, you weirdo, freak.
I think Frank does a lot of projecting on in the chat. Like he
projects.
Just projects a lot. Next we have the Triangle of Madness. You want to do the Triangle of Madness voice? Okay.
The Triangle of Madness. Fatality.
The fatality was on us, by the way. Like, we are the ones who got killed watching this versus Timeless Camstat.
What a name.
So what I noticed about this, it will come into play a little bit later, but Harley Cameron in this match, she took most of the heat in the match. So like, what that means basically is that the Triangle is kicking the shit out of her for most of it, and she's trying to make the tag.
Right.
Eventually, she ends up back in the ring at the end, after she does make a hot tag and, Statlander makes the comeback or whatever, but eventually Harley ends up back in the ring and eats Tekla's spear and loses.
And that was a 1, 2, 3, exactly.
Yes. So that in and of itself isn't a big deal, but I'll point something out later. So Kenny Omega's in a room, I guess his dressing room, trying to do a promo to the camera that's there, off to the side. And there's a knock on the door, and it's Lil Brooks Jensen. And he comes in with all that charisma and is just like, I get it. 50 times. And Kenny actually is like, Kenny in this promo sounded like me reviewing the show. He was like, what the fuck are you got my fucking back? Like he sounds like I just watched like an FTR match. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. So anyways, Lil Brooks just wants Kenny to know that he has his back. And Kenny's like, okay, well, I don't have your back. So, if we have a common enemy in the Young Bucks or whatever, fine. But I don't have your back. So, whatever.
I mean, he's just being honest. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So now this is what you're talking about, Jimmy, where you feel like even with this, Jungle Boy certainly can't be trusted. He's gonna turn on somebody somewhere.
It's just what it feels like for me.
It's all a plot. It's all a plot just to get back at Kenny, right?
Exactly. I think
Luchasaurus gonna turn heel for like the 4th time.
Yep. He's gonna be kill switch again, probably. And then, yeah. Same old shit, bro. It does feel that way. And I feel like we are going that way. And it seems to be going that way. I mean, don't you feel the same way? I mean,
I don't think about it. But now that you say that, I don't disagree with you. I just didn't spend 1 second wondering where this. I never do. I never wonder where any of this is going to go.
And trust me, I don't blame you, but Jesus, we need to think sometimes.
No, we don't. We just need to run through the notes and quit. That's all we need to do. The rest is icing on the cake. Okay.
You're the funniest dude, I swear. That is awesome.
Yeah. So Lexi is with Cam Stat now after they, lost. And Harley has a confession to make. She tells Chris Statlander she's actually not a cat. And also she's been 2-timing her with the CEO trying to be tag team partners with her now that there's going to be AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. So she does come clean and admit those things. Good. And then this was my favorite thing that Chris Statlander has ever done. I don't know whether it was her idea or somebody else's. I don't care, whatever. But Chris Statlander said, I know, Harley, I watched the show. Which I've been waiting for a wrestler to say that whenever somebody tells them something that they should have known, obviously, because it happened on camera.
Exactly.
Instead, finally somebody said it after however many years of this bullshit.
100 years at least. Like, seriously, why now? Why actually be logical now?
I don't know, and of all people, Statlander to do it.
Who comes across as
the alien
still in the shed. You know what I mean?
The alien, the Rhea Ripley knockoff,
Right. The mummy with a U, not with an O. You get me? Anyway.
Well, speaking of Utah comes in and he's like, don't listen to this, this bitch who, will just turn on you as soon as she gets what she wants or whatever. And then Tony Storm comes in and rips her shirt open. And it's like, you want to fight right now, but not in those words. So that's it. And then Yuta's just like, Yuta sees a bra. Yuta sees a lady's bra and he's like, I gotta go. I can't deal with this. So
he's such a friggin' frigid, bro.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously this was the second best thing on the show next to Mark Briscoe's show.
Collision's becoming a comedy, bro, for real. But anyway.
Well, that's a good segue to the next thing because it's MXM TV.
Oh my God. This was anyway, yeah. Continue.
So they have a casting call, which I guess a casting call to them means open challenge, but it's really an excuse for Mansoor to get on the mic and be hilarious.
I actually like Mansoor, bro. For real.
Mansoor,
I actually do.
Mansoor in this one, in the time that he held the microphone in his hands on this show, he showed more entertainment and charisma and comedy than Johnny TV has his entire career.
He's not funny,
all combined.
Bro.
Like if you combine his 20-year career or whatever it's been, he did not add up to Mansoor's level of entertainment on this one microphone hold. Dude, I don't mean to pick on Johnny. It's just that he was in the ring when this happened. So like he's fresh in my mind. I could say that about a great many people. But here he is. So this was great. But then it just became a trios match because, the people that answered the call were, LFI. So
yeah,
it got ugly quick.
They got a beating and a half, dude, after that, especially from Roosh. Yeah, look, I'm telling you, Mansoor is so underutilized. It's not funny, bro. I think, I was never a big fan of his, even back in WWE at first. But, seeing him even away from wrestling and how naturally funny he can be too, I started digging him. I started thinking, you know what? This guy's got actually charisma about him. He really does. You know what I mean? But he's just not allowed to utilize it much. You know what I'm saying? I think he could do so much more for either company if they just allow them, MXM, to do their thing, dude. They're characters, bro. I actually don't mind it.
It would have been a better fit for the Stevie Turner gimmick. Let's put it that way.
Oh. Well,
like if you had these guys as streamers promoting your company,
and they do that too, also in real life,
right? They do it anyway,
right?
But I'm just saying now integrate it into the program. But whatever, who cares? Obviously they get their ass kicked, like I said, and then we transition directly into Eddie Kingston versus
the
Beast Mortals.
Wasn't it?
Yep, it sure was.
Yeah, it was. I started second guessing myself for a second.
Yep. No, it was. And they had a match. Yeah. And Eddie won with a back fist.
With the back fist. And it looked stiff, dude. But then again, he's wearing a mask. And probably a thick leather mask too. So not
ow, my mask.
My mask. I love that about him, dude. You should watch some interviews with Mortos.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's just like, it's the funniest thing.
Right. I see what the CEO sees in him.
Well, I don't know, bro. That's still weird to me. But anyway.
So, Lexi and the Triangle of Madness, before Lexi can even say, or ask a question, the Triangle's getting jumped by Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter. So,
Jesus, man. Come on.
Yep.
I guess we're going to get a tag match soon.
Yeah, probably.
No, it's from tonight. Like his name said before.
Right. Now, Shibata, and with the help of Siri, challenges LFI to a match next week. And now we finally have our main event. It's the Top Gods versus the Jet Speed Babes.
I hated this match, but anyway, yeah. Fuck this match, bro.
Not a fan, huh?
Nah, I guess Willow got his shit in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did. Well, they did a lot of intergender stuff, which they don't normally do in AEW, which I'm surprised. Like, you would think with all the shit that they've done in AEW, how do they never really go with the intergender route at any point? but they don't.
They have now.
Yeah, they did with this.
Right.
And I didn't even know that was the match at the start. I just assumed it was going to be like one of those, well, if the man tags a lady, the other lady's got to come in, but.
Right.
Well,
But that wasn't the case, but for once, which is cool,
Nope.
I guess. But I didn't enjoy these matches, though, dude, for real. It just came across as, I don't know, childish, dude. It comes across as childish. That's the best way I can put it. It's just, it insults your intelligence a little bit too, bro. Like, I don't know, man. I can't get into, I don't know, none of these peeps right now, man. Even Jet Speed, they annoy me. And it's probably because of Speedball. He just annoys me. That stupid fake smile, bro. And he can kick, which is great. But fuck him. Seriously, fuck that guy. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, we're just about through with this. Anyway, so Stoke and Penelope work together to beat Willow, because he's distracting the ref. She's over here on the other side. She's climbing up. Megan's got Willow up. They do a doomsday device. The ref's still over with Stokely. Stokely jumps down. They pin Willow Nightingale. So now, Top God's out. And Harley.
Right.
Now, Harley Cameron comes in. She makes the post-match save with her
puppet thing.
Her thing there.
Right.
And this is where I was going to mention earlier. So in her match earlier, she got her ass kicked and she got beat. But again, when it's Megan Bayne, somehow Harley Cameron is Supergirl because Megan Bayne just takes off running. And, I've pointed out how in the match, every time these two are in the ring together, Harley Cameron kicks Megan Bayne's ass more than any other wrestler in AEW does. I guess she just has her number. I guess there's just no answer that Megan Bayne has for the wrath of Harley Cameron. She's in there with anybody else, she's just going to get her ass kicked. But when it's Megan Bayne, oh shit. Strongest woman in wrestling. The one that's lifting Willow and throwing her around. The one that fought with Speedball and Kevin. She's going toe to toe with those guys. But here comes Harley Cameron, the joke wrestler, and got a powder. I just find that amusing.
Well, you know why, right? You remember how we used to, I used to always say about the guys being too big and whatnot?
Yeah.
I bet you it's also a problem on the women's side. She's clearly the biggest woman on that roster in many ways. So, what does that mean? She runs away from freaking Harley Cameron, bro. Like, who looks like, she doesn't look tough. She doesn't look like she can kick the shit out of anybody. At least Bane actually looks like she could probably knock your clock off, you know what I mean? But for whatever reason, like you said, Harley Cameron, man, she's a beast, bro.
That's her kryptonite, or whatever Wonder Woman's equivalent weakness is.
All I'm saying is, Harley, man, that's all I'm saying. She's an animal, dude. Animal.
Well, she's not a cat.
She's not a cat.
So she must be some other kind of animal.
She's a jaguar, bro.
Oh, forever.
Forever. But yeah, exactly, dude. That's it. That's all.
All right.
That's all.
And that is it.
That's it.
Man. The heels run away from Harley Cameron to end Collision.
What a weak main event, though. Really, it was a weak main event, but
at least it wasn't Daniel Garcia.
At least, but again, we're still getting way too many tag matches, even on Dynamite, even on Collision. We did get a few more singles matches than usual. I think there was 3 on Dynamite, right? I think. Could be wrong. Maybe
Probably.
2 even. But still, there was 1 more than last week, so that's all that matters. But again, Tony, calm down on the tag matches. But you won't. Clearly won't, and that's him. But yeah, that's it, man. Anything else to say?
Nope.
About that? Excuse me. Well,
nope. Loved it all. 11 out of 10.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm telling you, dude, whatever people are telling you, trust me, I want you to check out, you probably won't, but do check out Crown Jewel. It's not what you think. but the crowd will piss you off. That's
No,
what
it
I'm saying. We'll see.
Can only piss
Anyway,
me off if I cared.
Now, believe me, it's a lot better than what you're expecting it to be. I know it's me telling you that, and you don't believe me, but
True. He's right, folks.
It's
He's right.
It is. It really is. Anyway, Vet, tell them what you're doing, what you're up to, where they can find you. Of course, I know it's opinion heavy anywhere, and you know, it's pretty easy to find you, but still, tell them what you're doing, dude.
Well, you know what I do. Wherever it is, it's Opinion Haver. I got the shows on how many media groups, such as the Next Level Wrestling Review with Big Ray Hernandez every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, where we talk about NXT and all the people that are going to get released again. And every Monday, we have the Impact Attack with Brandon at whenever Raw goes off the air, or 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. That we got, we're gonna have a big Bound for Glory review, so be sure to tune in for that, as well as his watch along for Bound for Glory tonight. I guess it's gonna happen. So if you'd like to watch along with Brandon, then go for it. Right here on Humming Media Group on YouTube. What else goes on around here? Not much else for me, but as far as the affiliates, of course, Wrestling with Rogers every Friday, Stevie Richards Show every Friday, Limpin' Ain't Easy usually Wednesday. So please check out all those and check out whatever Jimmy's about to tell you to check out.
Well, this coming Tuesday, 10 a.m. Eastern, of course, it is I Like It Raw, where we talk about, obviously, Monday Night Raw. I'm pretty sure Big Ray is back this week in the saddle with myself. I'm actually looking forward to a Raw, which is again in Perth. See what happens there. I mean, the energy should be good because it feels like almost like a Mania, you know what I mean, like a Raw after Mania after what happened on Crown Jewel. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Also, the Smack Attack, whenever day it's going to be on. I'm assuming, hopefully, it's on a Saturday, not a Sunday, but we'll see. I'm not going to give you a straight up time because really I can't, because you know things are always changing when it comes to that show. And of course, that Wreckage at 11 a.m. every Sunday mornings, right here, obviously on Humming Media Group's YouTube channel. And yeah, and if you want to follow me on the Twitter, you can at the PWC Network. And also, I want to thank all of y'all for wishing me a happy birthday, including you, Vet. I appreciate that. Because you guys have been, and Big Ray especially, has been spamming it on every friggin', on every social media thing you can think of, even on Instagram. Well, I don't even use it, but he posted it there.
Well, it's not every day you turn 29, Jimmy. This is a big occasion.
It's true. 29, bro. I'm 29 young. Oh, man. But unfortunately, I'm 43, really. But that's
29 season 14?
Yeah, something like that. Thank you, Cold Blooded, by the way. Yeah, man, it sucks. I'm getting older, bro. I don't celebrate birthdays anymore. That's it. I'm done. But in saying that, thank you anyway. And yeah, that's about it from me. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. He's the best in the world, Jamie the Vet Williams, and you've been listening and watching the
Wreckage
live right here on Humming Media Group's YouTube channel and channelattitude.com. Until next time, see yous.